Welcome to Elevate Life Accountability, where high-performing leaders, CEOs, military senior officers, and professional athletes come together to sharpen their mindset, refine their strategy, and execute at the highest level. This isn't just about motivation, it's about measurable progress. Here we don't just talk about leadership, we live it, we own it, and we elevate it. Every session, we challenge ourselves to take radical accountability, not just for our success, but for the impact that we create. Why? Because in high stakes leadership, standing still is not an option. You either evolve or you get left behind. So let's get to work. How divisiveness destroys accountability and what to do about it. The leadership crisis no one's talking about. So let's get real for just a minute. Divisiveness is an accountability killer. It doesn't just create tension in companies or in teams or even in families. It destroys the momentum, erodes trust, and ultimately it keeps leaders stuck. You've seen it before. The company where departments operate in silos, more concerned about proving they're right than actually solving the problem. The team where egos and internal politics keep the best ideas from ever seeing the day of light. The athlete who blames their coach, blames the system or their circumstances instead of taking control of their own performance. Look, divisiveness doesn't just make things harder, it makes accountability impossible because instead of ownership, people focus on blame. And here's the worst part, when accountability dies, so does progress. If we're serious about leading at the highest level, whether in the boardroom, the military, or on the field of play, we have to amputate divisiveness and elevate alignment, clarity, and action. And that brings us to today's leadership deep dive. 3 lessons from Martin Perelmuter that will reshape how you think about accountability, ownership, and impact. Here's our first lesson. Amputate to elevate, walking away from what no longer serves you. The best leaders don't hold on to what's familiar, they commit to what is necessary. Martin Perelmuter had everything society told him he should want: an elite law degree, a high-paying job, and professional security. But deep down, he knew it was not his path. So he amputated the illusion of security to elevate toward his true calling. That's the first accountability challenge for you. What in your life or leadership is no longer serving you, but you're still holding on to it out of fear? Because here's the hard truth. Leaders who refuse to let go of toxic dynamics, outdated strategies, or limiting beliefs will always hit a ceiling. Accountability means making the tough call, even when it's uncomfortable. The cost of staying stuck is far, far greater than the risk of moving forward. So I ask you, what's holding you back right now? And when will you let go? Lesson number 2, the leap from security to significance. How to move forward with confidence. High stakes transitions aren't for the weak. Too many leaders wait for certainty before they take action, but the best don't wait for certainty, they create it. Martin did just that, walking away from law. He made a calculated leap. He built financial stability before stepping away. He developed a plan, not just a dream. He removed his safety net, ensuring he'd stay committed. Here's where divisiveness comes back into play. Divisive environments keep leaders paralyzed in decision-making. Instead of making bold moves, leaders hesitate because what if it upsets someone? Instead of aligning teams, they allow competing agendas to stall progress. Instead of leading with conviction, they let uncertainty dictate their direction. Leaders in transitions, whether in business, the military, professional sports, cannot afford hesitation. The moment you know it's time to move, you just got to act. So ask yourself, are you still waiting for the perfect moment? Are you leading decisively? Are you holding yourself back? If you knew that you couldn't fail, what bold move would you make right now, today? Because the truth is, you can't elevate your impact if you're still clinging to what feels safe. And finally, lesson number 3, the power of unapologetic idealism. Leading with optimism in a cynical world. Divisiveness is fueled by cynicism, skepticism, and fear. The most effective leaders, they reject all three. Martin leads with unapologetic idealism. He believes in people before they prove themselves. He assumes the best rather than expecting the worst. And you know what? It works. Leaders who believe in their people build cultures of accountability because people rise to the level of expectation that is set for them. Leaders who operate from optimism rather than fear make better long-term decisions. Leaders who focus on possibility rather than limitation, they don't just survive transitions, they own them. Here's what I want you to reflect on today. When was the last time you assumed the worst instead of the best? Have you allowed fear of failure to dictate your next move? Are you leading from opportunity or are you leading from fear? Because in leadership, your mindset doesn't shape you. It shapes everyone around you. So where do you go from here? These three lessons aren't just ideas, they're a challenge. The first is amputate what no longer serves you. The second, stop waiting for certainty, lead boldly. And the third, lead with idealism and not fear. But here's an insight, without action, it's useless. That's why I'm inviting you to the next Elevate Life Executive Strategy Session where leaders in high stakes transitions, we come together to refine and sharpen our skills, sharpen our mindsets, and execute at a higher level. The next session is going to be on March the 27th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So sign up now, just click on that link and you're going to be right there. This isn't just another meeting, it's your moment to step up. So here's your next step. Number one, write down your biggest insight from today's Think Letter. Number two, decide on one action you're going to take this week to implement it. And then finally, number three, mark your calendar for March the 27th and sign up to Elevate. Because in high stakes leadership, standing still isn't an option. You either evolve or you get left behind. So let's elevate. Go forth, inspire your world. See you next session. Bye for now.